song, but before I wanted to introduce to you, of course, well, President Kim just came, but first I want to introduce to you Ulrich's wife, Terrio. You all knew her already from translating for Mrs. Abe. Now she will do a lot of translating also for Mrs. President Kim, and also she will help a little bit to take care of the system. Let's give a warm welcome to President.
Last year I did not do this, but from this year I have to have used this. The lecture I am going to give you is not the lectures which you give to new people or you give to the people in ordinary time. Because this is for the workshop, therefore we have to study, we have to understand more thoroughly Father's truth. Therefore, this is not the ordinary way. So when you give lecture to new people or maybe ordinary time, you have to give more faster. Here we give we go in more detail. It takes more time. So this morning I start my lecture from the introduction. This introduction for entire my principal lectures. From the beginning of human history, man thought of a God or someone who is absolute. And they thought of man's life and the future of man's life and after death. So what will happen when man dies? This thought, everyone had this. This was not only for us, but from our first ancestors, they thought of this matter. Especially, I think when you are young, maybe after you get old, maybe you didn't. But when you're young, maybe I think, why was I born? And where I'm going? And what will happen when my physical body dies? I thought of this many times when I was very small. So I regretted very much because I knew that man had to die. Then why was I born? Because I was not happy. Because I knew that when I had to die, and it was fear for me. So I wanted to know more about this life and death. And from this thought, man came to have religion. So man wanted to have eternal life. This is man's desire. Man does not want to die. Man wants to have eternal life. But we know man cannot satisfy this desire with physical body. Because we see everyone dies when they get old. But still we have desire for eternal life. From this we already think of religion. So then why? I don't think animals, they don't think of eternal life. Because we are not animals, therefore we cannot really know. But from their life, they don't have agony like man has. So from this we can understand they don't have too deep thinking. Just they live they eat and sleep, they don't worry too much. But man is different. So what does make man and animal different? Man is different because man can think future things and even the problem of death, all those things. And we say, this comes from man's spiritual element. Because man has spiritual element. Because of that, man thinks things which animals do not think. And man thinks of absolute being. So man worshipped the eternal being or absolute being. But this was the base for the coming of religion. And we say the source or the fundamental being for man's spiritual element, this is God. And from this, religion came and religion could be established. Therefore, all the religions are on the assumption that God exists. If God does not exist, then religion cannot come into being, and even we have religions, but they will have no meaning. So only when there is God, religion can have meaning and can have real sense of having it. Then, therefore, the problem is this. Then, is God really existing? Does God really exist? This is the most important question. So many people try to explain the existence of God by logical explanations. Of course, we can try this. Because they say all the things came naturally. This is most non-religious people. They explain this. All the things came by nature, naturally. Then what is nature? When you say natural, then what does it mean? Natural means that it means the cause of something did not come from outside, but the cause itself was contained in itself. So if when you say naturally, it came by nature or naturally it came out. That means that there's no other cause, but cause was contained in itself. And from that, the effects came. This is the meaning of naturally came. But still, there is a nature, or there is a cause. Then what is that cause which exists within itself? So from this, if we progress our logics, then we have to also admit the existence of God. But here we don't want to try to explain the existence of God by logical explanations. But we want to use scientific method. Scientists, whenever they find new phenomena, or they want to find new explorations for phenomena, they always make assumptions. And on that assumption, they develop theories. And through these theories, if they can explain all the phenomena, all the results, effects, then the assumption becomes truth. They call it theorem. And later, they have to prove it by experiments. Many cases like this. So even the Einstein's relativity principle, that was like an assumption. And later, they were proved by experiments. Many things like this. So all the development of science took this step. So for us, also we will make assumption that God exists. And on this assumption, we want to establish theories. And by these theories, if we can explain all the historical phenomena, historical facts, then the assumption that God exists becomes truth. If we cannot explain all the historical phenomena or things from these theories, then we cannot say that God exists. And so the theories which are made on the assumption of God's existence, this is divine principle. So we develop divine principle on the assumption that God exists. And through divine principle, if we can explain all the historical phenomena, results, effects, then our assumption becomes truth. God really exists. Until these days, there were many religions. But they, of course, they have theories, theologies, or many things. Christianity has theology, that is theories, which are made on the assumption that God exists. But their theories were not perfect. There were many defects, many shortcomings, sometimes many contradictory things. Therefore, from these theories, they cannot explain all the historical facts or historical phenomena. Because of this, man gradually fell away from religion. In the old days, everybody just had blind faith. But when, after man's intellect was developed, and they could compare historical facts from the teachings of Christianity, and they could not find many answers. Because, for instance, if God exists, and they say God is God of love, God of goodness, and they say God created all the universe and man, then if God is almighty, and then also say God is almighty God, and God knows everything. This is what Christianity explains about God. Then if God is almighty God, and God is God of love, and God of goodness, then how such miserable history can come? You can't explain this. If God is almighty, why God cannot do this to save fallen people of all the miserable things? And why? And if Jesus came as Son of God, then why did he die? There are many things which you cannot explain. That is because the Christian theologians, they did not know the portion of man's responsibility. Because they thought everything is done by God. If everything is done by God, we cannot understand why such miserable history lasted for so long time. We cannot understand this. And many things. So because of these things, and also the birth of Jesus, he was born from just originally, many things cannot be understood by science-oriented people, scientific-minded people. So because of these defects, or because of these things which are not well-organized theories, because of this, many people, many intellectual people went away from Christianity. Therefore, it is very important to understand the existence of God. This is very important. But at the same time, to establish right theories, this can be said maybe more important than to know the existence of God. So we have to set up right theories. And by that, we should be able to explain all the historical facts, the phenomena. So we want to find this. From this, we can understand that truth, real truth, or divine principle, the importance of truth. importance of divine principle. And then also there's a problem. Now many people deal with natural phenomena. And they think natural phenomena and the problem God are the same. They think on the same level. They want to apply the same method which they used for the study of natural phenomena to the problem God. But we have to understand that natural phenomena and spiritual phenomena are different dimensions. They are different things. So we cannot use the same method which we used for natural phenomena for spiritual phenomena. But many people, they realize this. So especially scientists, they say, they want to apply scientific methods, which natural principles, which they used for research of natural phenomena. They want to apply the same thing for spiritual phenomena. Then they come to deadlock. They can't go on. Therefore, they say there is no spiritual phenomena, or they just want to deny the existence of God. But this is not right attitude, because this is not scientific attitude, because natural phenomena and spiritual phenomena are entirely different. So we can say natural phenomena, we can perceive them through our 5 physical senses. But the problems of God, or that is supernatural thing, and it is super physical, it is transcends physical perception. Because what do you call it? Do you have any good word for that? Transcendent. What do you call it? Physical, transcendental of what? Our physical senses? Transcendental physical senses. Physical senses. So we know this world can be divided into two. One is world of mind and world of body, or world of material. So world of mind and physical world. And this world of mind, this is invisible world, and this is transcendental world of physical senses. But physical world is perceptible world. But even this physical world, if we go into deeper and deeper, then we find that physical world is made of molecules and atoms and particles. Then it goes into energy. If we go into energy, then it comes to the state. There's no form, invisible. So even physical world is made of invisible elements, invisible. So from this we can understand whole world. World of mind, world of material, both are made of invisible things. Therefore, the source of this whole this world, or the creator of all this world, must be the invisible being. Because both of them are made of invisible elements. So from this we can understand that God must be the transcendental being of our physical senses. Therefore, the problems of God must be solved by our spirit, or spiritual senses. But all the people, they have different level of spiritual growth. People are not the same. Physically, they all look same, but spiritually, they are not same. The growth of spirit differs by man. And according to the rate of growth of man's spirit, the understanding of spiritual phenomena or spiritual being or God becomes different. If man can have same level of spiritual growth, then they can have same understanding about the spiritual things of God, but because man has different level of spirit. So their understanding becomes entirely different according to their growth rate. And now, people on this earth, they became materialistic people. More and more, they become materialistic. And if man becomes more materialistic, then the growth of spirit, or well, spirituality, comes low and low. Therefore, their spirituality cannot function properly. You know, spirituality is okay. Spirituality cannot function properly, and they come not to understand more about God, spiritual things. So in this, our lectures, in our study, we want to make assumption that God exists, and on that assumption, we want to explain about the nature of God and the principles of God's providence, what principles God uses in His providence. And also we want to study about man, history, and the universe. So we want to set up theories concerning all these programs. And by studying these theories, man himself must understand the existence of God, and through his life, he must experience the existence of God. So we can give them the theories, and through this study, they have to understand the existence of God, and through their life, they have to experience. They have to have evidence for God's existence. Okay. Then, now we talk about man. Then what is man? Because we deal with man. Therefore, we have to understand man. We use the word original mind. Usually people use conscience, original mind. Original mind is the mind which is given by God, originally, from the beginning. And because of the work of this original mind, man wants to have goodness or happiness. So everyone wants to be good or wants to have happiness. Later when they grow, when they change, but when they are pure, everyone wants to be good, to have happiness. So this comes from man's original mind. And when man's original mind desire of man's original mind is satisfied, man can feel joy or happiness. But this world of reality is not a world of goodness or happiness. Instead, this world is filled with sins and unhappy things. So all the men want to be good, they want to have happiness, but reality is different. Against their desires, this world became a completely different world. Then why such thing could happen? If everyone wants to be good and everyone wants to be happy, then this world should be a good world. This world should be a happy world. Then why this world is not good world, not happy world? So we have to find out the reason why. And when we want to find out the reason, then we can find one reason. That is, in man, there is good mind, but on the other hand, there is evil mind. So man has two minds. One being has two different minds. This is the source of trouble. So this is the fact that we have two different minds. And one thing, that man has wrong habit of life. In many cases, bad habits of life. And also man lives in bad circumstances. Man is surrounded by many evil things. Not everything is good around us. And also man has many defects in himself. Even you want to do something, but you cannot put it in practice, many cases. You decide, oh, I'll do something from today, but maybe you can go on 1 or 2 days, then you cannot continue on. This happens in many cases. You want to do good things, but because of your desire for something else, you just do something wrong things. So we cannot do what we want to do. So this we can say this is defects of man. Defects. And also, from these things, our original mind cannot function properly because of our evil, bad habits or all the bad circumstances and our man's own defects. Our original mind cannot function properly. And our evil mind takes main role, many cases, and lead man to bad direction, evil direction, wrong direction. Because of this world of reality became a world of sin. And this became the materialistic world and the world where we cannot find absolute value. And the world became the world where we can not define which is good or evil. It's very difficult to define. Even we cannot distinguish which is good, which is evil. It becomes such a world. And furthermore, sometimes evil is very easy to unite with this world. When you do evil things, then you can unite with people more, better way. So if you don't smoke, sometimes you will have trouble. But if you smoke, it's okay, very easy to contact with people. If you drink, then it's easy to communicate with people, to have nice relationship with the people. If you play if you play just cars or sometimes you do gambling, then if you don't do all those things, then you are thought like a strange person. So you isolate from those people, from society. So we mean this. Therefore, evil has more access to this present world. And originally, if we do evil things and if we become unhappy, either way, then there will be no one who wants to do evil things. But even you do evil things, you cannot get any bad results. You don't become unhappy. If sometimes you get more money or some more things, you can enjoy more. Because of this, man does evil things. But we know, from cause all results come. We know this. If there is cause, then all is result, which correspond to that cause, come. But this time takes very long in fallen world. Eventually, if you continue doing evil things, sometimes you will get in trouble. This we know. But many cases, it takes very long time, many years, sometimes after death, not during your physical life. Because of this, man does not worry too much even they do evil things. But ideal world is not like that. Ideal world is this. If you do something wrong, immediately you can get the result. So the cause and the effect, the time distance must become short. Then we know. Maybe you can try once or 2 times, but if you become unhappy and you get in trouble, then you're not there to do the same thing again. But in this world, you cannot find this. Therefore, even you do evil things, you are very peaceful. You can be peaceful. You don't have to worry too much. This is because this world is the world of evil. Because of this, such thing can happen. And they take this is natural thing. They don't think this is bad thing. Just that, oh, this is natural. They take this way. Therefore, it's very difficult to correct evil things. So we say, man's mind, we have two minds. One is original mind, the other one is evil mind. And we have desire of original mind. And desire of original mind always directs man toward goodness. But desire of evil mind always directs man toward evil. And when we act according to the desire of our original mind, it becomes good. It will bring result of goodness. And from that we can have true happiness. But when we act according to the desire of our evil mind, it will result in evil. And eventually will be unhappy. Although it takes time. Then we have to think, then where this evil mind of man came from? This is really a big problem. If man is created by God, then how this evil mind could come into man's mind? But we have to understand this. The desire of evil mind did not come from man's original nature. Then why is that? Because we can say it because when you satisfy your desire of evil mind, you get pain in your conscience. If you do evil things. But still your conscience tell you that. Your conscience tell you that you did bad thing. You get pain. This is the good evidence that this desire of evil mind did not come from man's original nature. If it came from man's original nature, man should not feel pain. Instead, man should feel joy from his conscience. Therefore, even evil parents, they don't tell, even they do some evil things, but to their children, they want to tell them to be good men, good people, good men, good children. So, evil mind did not come from man's original nature. So, man's original mind always wants to take the object position of goodness and want to become the object of God. And from our original mind, we hate evil. Even we do evil things, but when you watch a movie or television, if evil man comes and you don't like him, you want to be a good man can overcome him. You desire that for that. So, the original mind already hates evil and pursues after goodness. This is the work of original mind. And when God created all the beings, originally God wanted to give a homogeneous purpose. This means that if homogeneous, that means one directional purpose. So man cannot have two opposite purposes at one time. So we give an example of a cup. The purpose when we make cup, that is to contain water, liquid. But if there comes hole on the bottom of cup, then it already lost its purpose of cup. So it means that it cannot have two different purposes. One is to spill the liquid, and one is to contain the liquid. One cup cannot have two opposite purposes at one time. So when you have a hole on the bottom of the cup that you have to throw away. It lost its purpose of being as cup. Same thing. So every being cannot have two opposite purposes. Only one-sided purpose. If purpose of goodness, then that's all. Not purpose of goodness and purpose of evil at the same time. Therefore, man was originally created to have only one purpose, that is, purpose of goodness. But because of some reason, man came to have two different purposes, two opposite purposes, goodness and evil at the same time. Because man has two different purposes, therefore, if you want to go this direction, then the other purpose wants to drag you to that purpose. Therefore, man is now pulled from both sides. So which way you should go? Then you have to fight. Because of these two different minds, struggle came into man. So man always fight within himself, struggle. And because of this struggle, if you do something wrong, then you come to have agony, you pain, suffer. Therefore, we don't know. If man has only one side purpose, if man does only goodness, then we can trust him. Because he can do only good thing, you can trust him. But you don't know whether he will do good thing or bad thing. You don't know. You cannot know anybody. Anybody has two chances. He can do good thing or he can do bad thing. How can you trust such a person? You cannot trust such a person. Therefore, this trust came from this. Because man became two directional being. Because man has two opposite purposes, can have two opposite purposes. Because of this, man became man of distrust. We cannot trust. Even I myself cannot trust myself. I don't know what I do next. We don't know. So this is the tragedy of man. We cannot trust myself. This is tragedy. That we can't trust other people. So we call this contradictory being. Contradictory being. So because of this, destruction comes to man. Destruction. If man goes both ways, then finally it will break off. Sometimes go this way, sometimes go that way. Then in the future, which way he will go? He will lose his direction. Then maybe he just torn apart. So because of this, man became a destructive, man of destruction. So man lost his value. So we say man became a man of no value. He does not belong either one. Not good or not even. Neither good or neither bad. No bad. So, no place to go. This is a man of no value. And therefore, in man's life, we always fight between good and evil. So man became such a person. Man of struggle between good and evil. Therefore, the history which is made by these people also became a history of struggle between goodness and evil. So we say this history is a struggling history between good and evil. That is because man became such a person who struggles between good and evil. Therefore, when you have two opposite purposes, then you cannot establish either one. Therefore, your life becomes a life of failure. And your life will end as tragic life. Now then, we'll talk about this is really a big problem. Then when this contradictory nature of man came into man, this is really big historical problem, question. Now, philosophical question. If man's contradictory nature came from the beginning of man's creation, then what would have happened? Many people think this way, even the Christians think this way. The contradictory nature came from God's creation. They believe this. Some people, many people believe this. But if, even before the creation of man, if there were two contradictory natures, then you think man could be created? When two causes fight each other, then always there is two results. One is both can be destroyed, or one is destroyed, one remains. Only two results. When two beings fight each other, then maybe both can be destroyed, or one is destroyed, one remains. Only two results. Therefore, if there were contradictory natures even before the creation of man, then maybe if both fights against each other, then if they both die or destroyed, then there cannot be any creation, no creation. But if they fought, then there's definitely, if either both destroyed or one is destroyed and one remains. Therefore, man could be a man of one purpose, one side, one directional purpose person. But we know now man has two purposes. Therefore, from this we can say that this contradictory nature of man did not come from the beginning of man's creation. No. Therefore, we have to say that this nature came after man's creation. After. So we come to the conclusion that this contradictory nature of man came after man's creation. So we call this fall of man. So after man was created, but he fell from his original position. Because of this, man's contradictory nature came into man. And we say here, we say first time we say the fall of man. So man has mind and body, and because of fall, man fell into ignorance. And we say there are two ignorances. One is ignorance. So it also came two different ignorances. One is spiritual ignorance. One is physical. Ignorance. We call it internal. This is external. What are the internal ignorances? Spiritual ignorances. First, we don't know about God. The existence of God, we don't know. The existence of God and origin of man. How man was created. And we don't know about heart of God. And purpose of life. We don't know. And we don't know about good and evil. What is good, what is evil. We want to know this. And God's providence. Death. What is death? About death. And spirit world. These things we do not know. There are many questions which we do not know. And about this one, laws of nature. There are many things which we do not know. And also we don't know about the fundamental what is matter? Essence of matter we do not know. How matter is formed we do not know. And also there are many things we do not know about man's physical body. There are many doctors, but they don't know about man's physical body. And use of material. There are many things we do not know. So we say science developed very highly, but still there are many things which we do not know. How to use materials, you know. For God's world actually, in God's creation, there is no pollution. But in man's creation, all the time pollution. So there are still much waste and many problems. You know, we have many difficult diseases which we cannot cure. You know, there are many things which we do not know the reason how a man's physical body functions, and many things which we do not know. So all these things are ignorance of man. Then what is, you know, man's life of faith? To have right life of faith, first we have to understand truth. If we don't understand truth, we cannot have right way of life. We cannot have right faith. And I don't know, you have this word. You know, you say when you do something good, you do your best. What do you say? What do you put your heart in? Invest your heart. So we have to invest our heart, total heart, and we have to have prayer, and we have to do our efforts to have right life. And also we have to have help from God. So for you to have right faith of life, you need help from God. You alone cannot have good life of faith. So of course we have to know truth, and you have to invest your heart, you have to pray, and you have to make your efforts. But not only those things. Plus grace from God, help from God. With this, we have these things, then you can conquer, you can overcome your ignorance, and we can develop our original nature, and by developing our original nature, we can push out our evil mind. We can eliminate our work of evil mind, and by the direction of our original mind, we can go toward goodness and happiness. So, the true life of faith is to achieve goodness and happiness. And to do this, we have to know heart, posture, prayer, efforts, and faith in God. Then, what is human history? Then number 2, this is, now number 1 was man, and number 2, this is human history. The first one was man. Before that was introduction, and of course this is part of introduction. So by the fall of man came to have evil mind, and in many cases this evil mind always. So by the fall, man came to have evil mind. And in many cases, this evil mind controlled our original mind. Original mind should play most important role. Original mind should lead man's life, but because of the fall, evil mind came, and this evil mind oppressed our original mind. And evil mind took the place of original mind and led man's life. Because this man went under the control of the fallen nature. So because of this, in many cases, we men are under the control of fallen nature. So, plus this, here is adding. So this original mind is not functioning properly, and this evil mind took this position, and so it controls. So man is under the control of fallen nature. Plus, man became ignorant. And if this alone is okay, but plus we have one thing more. That is, what is next you understand? If we have only ignorance, then that is not too bad. But yeah, we have what you call it, evil wisdom. You say evil wisdom. Now some man has very bad ideas. Not evil knowledge, or they are became very sly or something very something very bad ideas. Yeah, evil wisdom. So if man has not this, so he's okay, but evil wisdom is okay.
Sneaky.
Yeah, this one. So this is added. Because of that, more problem came. But first, when you do something, just very sneaky way, do all kinds of bad things they use. This is make more bad. So because of these things, now man became what you call low character. You say low character, very low quality man.
Yes.
Yeah. Very, So man became a man of low quality, and even became evil. Man of so. And evil. From this, multiplied evil and sin. And it became Holy Ghost. Simple one. This came because of fall. Because of fall, this came. So evil mind came and this one. The mind was oppressed. And man could not excite the work of original mind. The original mind cannot function. And therefore man fell under this. Therefore, domination. But throughout human history, man is working very hard to save fallen people. And with what God does His salvation work? God does this through His truth and love. Therefore, God's truth and love, through we have to restore. So, truth and love. Overcome ignorance. Overcome ignorance and develop original mind. Develop work of original mind, that's the same thing. And we have to control evil mind. So we have to control evil mind. We have to get rid of evil mind. And we have to come out of contradictory nature. So leave contradictory nature. Nature and we have to do the life of loving other people, life of serving other people. Loving and serving other people. So we have to have this life. Then we can restore our original man, the original man of God's creation. We can become original man. So by this, God's idea can be realized. So when this original man is restored, then this man is the man whose mind and body become one. So whose mind and body become one, century won't come. And when this happens, then this mind world of mind, and the world of physical world, they can be united. When so man's mind and body are united, then spiritual world and physical world can be united. When this unity comes, then that is the world of happiness. And that is the world of idea, God's idea, original idea. So now we are heading for that. Therefore, from this we can understand that the human history is the history of restoration. So we are going back towards the original world. So where man's mind and body were united, or spiritual world and physical world are united. World of mind and world of body are united. Now, next is religion. And what is religion? So when we talk about religion, all you have to think religion and science together. So one is small. Then religion is to overcome the internal ignorance of man. This religion, the purpose of religion is to overcome internal ignorance of man. So it must give eternal truth. That is the truth concerning man's spirit, or man's eternal life. And what is the purpose of science? The purpose of science is to overcome and to restore external ignorance of man. So it deals with physical body of man or physical things of this world. Religion is science. The purpose of science is, to overcome. This is to solve internal ignorance. This is external. Then what is perfect man? Perfect man is the man, mind and body united. This must be right. This is man. So in perfect man, mind and body, they are completely united. So both are perfected. Not only physical body, but mind, spirit must be perfected. This is perfect man. Therefore, perfected truth. So this religion is to find internal truth. This is to find external truth. So if we say perfect truth can come only when religion and science work together. They must work together. And both must be completed. Mind must be completed, his body must be perfected, same thing. Religion must reach perfection stage, and science must reach perfect stage, and they must work together. When this comes, then we can have truth, real truth, complete truth. But what is the situation of today? Science and religion, they expel each other. So scientists say religion is nothing. Because of religion, science could not develop, could not be developed. They think this way. So with this, we cannot have true happiness, true happiness. We cannot realize ideal world. They must work together, they must complement each other. Without doing this, we cannot have true happiness, we cannot have ideal world. And from the history, from the beginning of human history, man tried to solve all the problems of man. And some people took the way of religion, some people took the way of science. But both were to solve all the problems of man. Then the way which went through science, how did science work to solve man's problem? Science deals with natural phenomena. So that is world of effect or world of phenomena. By studying world of phenomena, world of effects, they want to find solution for human problems. So they study about physical things, natural things, how to overcome all the disasters of nature, all those things. And if you put emphasis only on this, then that becomes science is almighty. Science, what do you call it? Science almightyism? You understand? You don't have that word, eh?
Almighty position.
And you don't have some word for that.
Omnipotence of science.
Omnipotent science? Science?
Omnipotence of science.
Omnipotence of science, yeah. They believe science can solve everything. So they just think, they deny all the religious things and only put emphasis on science. This is those who believe in omnipotence of science. But we know, however these material things are developed, man cannot find true happiness in that. Nowadays, even in Western world, free world, science developed very much and we have much materials. So children, they grow with this surrounded by abundance of materials. And do they find happiness there? They don't find happiness there. Because we had many hippies, so they want to find something outside material world. So with material things alone, man cannot be satisfied. Man cannot find true happiness there. And to have true happiness, this society should be moral society. And also, this society should be a cooperating society. If people fight each other, we cannot find true happiness. Therefore, we have to bring up cooperating spirit, harmonizing spirit. Then science can bring this morality, moral society, can make people unite and work together, help each other? No. The power of science cannot change man, cannot bring this morality, cannot bring cooperation. Instead, now this world became the world of war, struggle, world of wars. So they invented more dreadful weapons and all those things. So man did not change and science developed. So this world became more terrible world now. Therefore, material things alone cannot satisfy man's desire for happiness. From this we can understand, even science must elevate its dimensions of study to essential world. Essential world. To the spirit of man or heart of man. That go into that dimension. Otherwise, science cannot bring anything good for man. This is now the way. So many people, they went this way of science. Huh? They want is to solve all the human problems through science, but now they came to deadline. Then how about the way of religion? Religion deals with the cause, first cause, or the world of essence. So by studying cause, by studying the essence of world, they want to solve human problems. This is religion. But how about then today's religion? To find out the cause of, first cause, or to deal with the world of essence, man's spirit or spirituality or heart must be developed. With undeveloped heart of man, man cannot find out this first cause or world of essence. What is man's functions of man's mind? We say three functions of man's mind. One is emotion, the intellect, and will. Then how about man's heart, mental emotion? How about man's emotion? Is it perfected? It's not. In many cases, corrupted. So we say unperfected. Emotion is not perfected yet. Oh, actually, we should use the word heart, but this is too early to use heart. Unperfect emotion. And how about man's intellect? Intellect is highly developed, or still is not developed enough. So, plus this one, emotion is not perfected yet, and what do you call it? Imperfect intellect. Imperfect, maybe better. So man's weapon is not enough, good enough. But this should be right. With perfect emotion and perfect intellect, we can deal with first cause or world of essence, but human being is not in that level yet. And many cases, plus here, false knowledge. And man wants to deal with this with false knowledge. Man has. And with these things, they wanted to find out about first cause and world of essence. So what will be the results of this? Because of this, many different kinds of what do you call it? Many miscellaneous, all different. Not miscellaneous. That means what I want to mean is not good ones. All kinds of mixed, very
Confusion.
of religions and philosophies.
Yes.
All kinds of philosophies came. All kinds of religion came. What do you call it? Miscellaneous.
Compassion.
Terrible things. Anyway, all kinds of things came.
Unrelated.
When you want to find something pure, but you cannot feel when all mixed up quality or mixed up things. What do you call it in English?
Cows.
When you want to have pure breed and just you have mixed breed. Okay. Chaotic.
Coyote.
Chaotic. So all kinds of that, not only one, many. No? So all sorts of law philosophies and religions. All sorts of religions came. So to have right understanding, this should be right. Huh? This should be right. If they are not right, how can we find truth? No way to find truth. So they have their own interpretation in everything. So from this, all kinds of ideologies came. So all kinds of chaotic ideologies. Chaos, C-A-C-H. C-H-O. Chaotic ideologies. Now this is our world. This we are facing. We are facing with these problems. Therefore, to study, how can you study? To study philosophy, then from the beginning, you have to study all kinds of things, and you cannot find which is good. It makes you more difficult, more confused. You cannot find which is right, which is wrong. So many philosophers, they study, but then at the end, they lose themselves. They get lost. This is the reality. So actually, the purpose of religion or philosophy is to solve human problem, but instead they gave more problems to man. This is the reality. So as time goes, the student must study more and more. But results, nothing. You study more, but in the end you are confused more. So this becomes a big burden now. Gives more burden. So if so, therefore, now philosophers, they don't meet each other. If they meet, then they cannot control the meeting. One speak this one, the other one speak against it, all the fightings. No conclusion. Because they know this, therefore they don't want to meet each other. But we order ICAS conference, but for them it's very strange. They cannot think of that. But we already know something, and we want to lead all the philosophers to that direction. Therefore, we can have this ICAS conference. And as it is continuous now, gradually changing, they are now thinking something different. For scientists, they say there cannot be absolute value. If you speak of absolute value, then they just laugh. This is really ignorant man. They say that. For them, they cannot think of absolute value. They think everything is relative. So the value can be different by person. This is their way. But this is because they studied very much, but they can't find anything. Therefore, now they just gave up. They gave up over this because they think this cannot be found. No. So they just gave up and everything. So we have to give it to the person. So everyone can decide his own value or his own view. Nothing absolute, nothing can be forced to anyone. Because nobody can force, because they could not find any truth there. So no one can force other person to have this. No one can say that. Therefore, they just delegate everything to their hands. So everyone can have their own, his own view of life or everything. So they say relative value, no absolute value, they say. So it became already common sense of our academic world. So this makes was very difficult. When you talk about God or absolute values, and they don't want to talk with us. They think we are very low. They came up to this high, and because we are very low, so we talk about absolute value. They think this way. So they don't want to talk with us. But actually, they are low, we are higher. They don't accept that. So that's the problem now. Then what is true happiness? True happiness comes when your mind must be happy, and therefore the happiness of mind, happiness of spirit, and happiness of physical life, both must come together. So however you live in good place, nice house, nice home, or nice food, nice clothes, but that alone cannot make you happy. So there should be spiritual happiness and physical happiness. Both come together. From this we can understand. Therefore, to have ideal world, realization of ideal world. World can come when the purpose of religion is perfected and purpose of science is perfected. So both. And plus purpose science should be. So both one, this one and this one, must come together. So we know now where we are now. So to have ideal world, science, purpose science must perfect it, and purpose religion must perfect it. How is science now? How is religion? So when we think of the state of science and state of religion, we can know how far we are from ideal world. So we can say that religion and science can be said as both wheels to make ideal world. Both wheels, two wheels to make ideal world. But if one does not move, the other one can move. So both must work together, cooperate. So without cooperation of science and religion, we cannot have ideal world. This is true. But many people do not think this way. If we say science and religion must work together, they say this is nonsense. They think it's nonsense. Then now, what is the situation of modern Christianity now, present-day Christianity? This is one. Now two. Present-day Christianity. Now, in the beginning, when Christianity started, there was fire. So, however, person they received, they could go through. So they were ready to sacrifice their lives for their faith. This was the first Christianity, early day Christianity. But can we find this fire of faith in present day Christianity? No, we can't find it. And how about when the Reformation? They received much persecution from Catholic Church, but they could go on with zeal. But can we find this? No. We cannot find this zeal of Reformation now. And now Christianity, Christian Church, we call it very formalized, or what do you call it? Form? Very formalized. Just they emphasize form, formalized, and I say just when many people say I am church goers. I'm a church goer. I just go to church. But I say they have the face of service time. Only service time Christians. So when they have service, they go into service. Only service time they are Christians. But when they come out of church, no more Christians. So this is church service time Christians. And even there are not many service time Christians. I don't know how the situation is now in Germany. You can find many young people there. Some churches recently, new trends, but in many cases only old people. So I heard some people said that you go to church when you are born and when you get what do you call it? Baptism, that's one time, and when you go to funeral time. So, baptism and funeral time, 2 times in your life. Marriage, 3 times. So baptism, marriage, and funeral, 3 times in your life.
Perfection state.
So from this, it almost lost influence for the betterment of this world now. Almost dead now, dead. Then why did it become like this? Why such thing happened? That is because, of course, Christianity has doctrines, teachings, theology, but there are many points which are missing, which give a misunderstanding or misinterpretations, very defective interpretations of God and God's providence. Many people think, God is dead. God is dead. Theology came. Then why do you think that idea came? I think that idea came because many Christians believe that Jesus himself is God. Jesus is God himself. And actually Jesus died, you know. Yeah, it is very logical to say God is dead. If you believe that way, you know, if Jesus is God, then actually he died, so. Very easy to explain to the people like that, you know. Of course, God is not doing anything now, because you cannot see the work of God, therefore, also you can say God is dead. From your superficial you see, or if you see the inside of Christian church, actually church is dead, therefore you can say God is dead. So if Christians understood God's truth well, and if they became one with God, and if they practiced God's love and ideals, then Christianity would have occupied a leading role in this world. There's no doubt. But now, it is now in the contrary position, opposite situation. And because of this failure of Christianity, materialistic ideology had power, got power. So from the beginning of human history, there were two ideologies. One is idealism, that is God exists. The other one is materialism, which denies God. So two ideologies fought. And in the Middle Age, the Christianity won. Medieval age. So the church had great power. But from the time of Renaissance, people, because churches had too much power and they did not do right things or bad things. Therefore, from this reaction, the Enlightenment ideology came, and it went to materialist ideology. So they say, they deny. If God exists, it cannot be. The Christian cannot be like that. They thought this way, so they denied there's no God. So this is my materialism. So when this materialism comes, and from this materialism now communism came, and communism now occupied almost half of this world. So therefore, the reason why materialist ideology came, that is because of Christianity. Because Christianity could not fulfill their missions. Therefore, materialism came. So that is the responsibility of Christianity. Or when we know, therefore, when God-side people cannot play their roles, then all Satan takes over. So now Satan is saying to God, now you look at your children. So I have to take these people under me, they say that. So now even Christian churches are under, if you see spiritually, many under Satan's control. That is, the spiritual, they say that, they see that. Even when we visit churches, then now minister is giving sermons, but spiritually their eyes open, they are beside him, black person standing there. That is Satan there. They've been controlling everything. Therefore now we have a liberation theology, and also some people say that Jesus was a socialist, and so communism is his ideology. They say this way. So then what about this materialistic ideology, the communism? They deny God, and how they consider man. They think man is no more than animals. This is their view of man. They think man is no more than animal, and man comes to have value only when man can be used for labor. If man cannot work, no more value. They think this way. Therefore, they always give ration system. They give food by ration. You know that? So daily, you can have certain grams of rice or some crops per head, per day. But if you don't work, you cannot even get that. Maybe they cut half, sometimes 1/3. Because they consider man as just a tool of labor, tool, no more than that. And they consider man, one is tool of labor, the other one is tool of riots, tool of violence. Because they believe in violence. And they say we have to take over imperialists or capitalists by violence. And they say they have to mobilize proletariat to destroy capitalists. So for that purpose, man is needed. So when man can be mobilized for that purpose, they think he is a valuable person. But if not, they kill. Because when they kill man, they don't feel any pain. They think they are killing animal. Because they can kill just any time. Whenever they feel necessary, they can kill animal. So, this is really important. When we say man is image of God. This is very simple word, but that is the most important word. Most important. Actually, the philosophy, that's the base of philosophy. If you think man is image of God, if you think man is not, if you think man is animal, from these two different ideologies can be developed. So one is, if we really believe man is image of God, then we have to respect man's value, man's dignity, or we have to admit man's freedom or happiness, morality, all those comments. When you admit man is image of God, if you don't admit this, then man becomes animal. Then in animal world, is there any conscience there? No conscience. So communist philosophy textbook, they teach man, they teach this. There is no conscience, no reason in animal. Then why should man alone have reason and conscience? This is their teaching in philosophy textbook. This is the most important part. Therefore, they say now when they propaganda, they say we have to liberate people, all the liberation, or they say that. But when you consider there is no conscience, no reason, and when you consider man as an animal, what is the principle of life of animal world? Yeah, just superior one can survive, inferior one must go away, extinct. So this is the principle of animal world. So stronger one can eat weaker one. This is the principle. This is the principle which communists apply. They use this principle. Then in this principle, how can you say we have to liberate poor people? How can you say that? Poor people are already weak people. Strong people must eat weak one. That's the principle of life of kingdom of animals. Then where can you draw the ideology that to liberate the poor people or to liberate weaker people? To liberate weaker people, that's against the principle of life, The weaker people, because they are weak, so stronger one must eat. That is their natural way of life. So from this we have to understand that they are using only two philosophies. Whenever they need, they use either one. So from their philosophy, there cannot be any freedom or liberation. But from God's principle of life, God's morality, there is freedom. So when they attack enemy, they use enemy's philosophy. This is their principle, their strategy. Because free world people, they believe in liberation or happiness or freedom. So when they attack enemy, use enemy's philosophy. And if they overcome, then they use their own philosophy. So in Soviet Russia, is there any freedom? No freedom. They have middle class. They think they are stronger one. So all the proletariat, they are weaker one. They can control everything. They just exploit. Worse than, much worse than free world. So many people do not understand this. Therefore, materialists have no right to say freedom or liberation or peace. Yeah, how can there be peace? Always they have to fight. You know, in the animal world, stronger one must eat, weaker one. How can there be peace? No peace in the animal kingdom. So we have to understand this. You know, so when you have a lion, a big, wild animal, well, how do you do? How do you handle it? If you have a snake, poisonous snake, then what do? You take out the poison, or take out. But even you don't like to see that, and maybe you put in cage with iron bars. Then you can feel safe. So when you have lion, you put in cage. Then you can be safe. If you have lion around your house, can you feel safe? Same thing now, Russia is the same. So to have peace, we have to put Russia into cage. Then we have to take away all their weapons. As long as they have their weapons, we cannot have peace. Whenever they feel they are stronger than other people, they use violence. That's their life principle. So free world people are so stupid that they don't know anything about that. So all their diplomacy or world strategy is based on that. And they openly speak that. But foolish Western politicians, they don't understand that. They just believe them and they want to talk. They want to solve the problem by their talk. How can you solve problems by talking with lions? Best way is to put lion into cage, that's all. No other talk is needed. Therefore, God gave atomic bomb to which side? Free world first. And even without using atomic bomb, if Western world had strong position, without war, they could control Soviet Russia. Already in 1945, before that time, even 1950, when Poland War happened, that time we could handle all the problems. That time Soviet Russia did not have atomic bombs. So Father always says that God gave chances, but when you lose it, you have to face more difficult things, more difficulties. Now, America is facing more and more difficulties. They are now surrounding America. And also now, within America, they are using all kinds of propaganda and the weaken inside of America. So now America is facing really critical time. Everywhere. That's because they missed the chance. They got, last time in Lebanon, 207, 69? Yeah. American Marines were killed. And that is the two chase American troops away from Lebanon. That's the purpose of that. But Reagan knew that, and he said he wants to have stronger position. He said he would remain in Lebanon. He cannot pull out. But many Democrats or even Kennedy, they speak out against Reagan. Why should we have our troops in that small country? We wish to pull out. So they are just following the same, just as they plan. They don't know that. Just they think only one step forward, and they cannot see 20 steps away things. Too short-sighted. So all these things come from the failure of Christianity. If Christianity played its role, which God expected, such thing could not come. So for communists, there is no character of man's character, or no spirituality, no human dignity, no individuality, no freedom, no lordship or anything. They deny everything. So even in free world, there are many materialists, and they are materialists. They deny God, but they claim for their human rights or many things. That is contradictory thing. For materialists, there cannot be any freedom, any dignity of man, any human rights. So I suggest that in future we have to treat materialists as animals. Only those who admit God wish to treat them as men. Other materials just like animals. Then they will have to think. They will know. that should be made good lessons for them. Then they'll find out what materialism is. Without doing that, they cannot understand it. It's so foolish. So materialism is the enemy of God. With this, we cannot realize God's ideal world. With communism, we cannot realize God's ideal world. They are against God's ideal world. Therefore, in IFBC, we say that communism is the enemy of God and mankind. So that's the enemy of God and mankind. And one reason why Christianity cannot do anything, that is because with Christianity, they cannot overcome communism. From their ideology, from the theology of modern present-day Christianity, they cannot find any way to cope with communism. Because many communists came from Christians. Even Karl Marx, his father was Jewish rabbi, and his mother was Christian, his father was Jewish. So from that background he came. Even Stalin was, I think, he was a student. Yeah. So all those things came from Christian church. So this is good evidence that Christian church cannot do anything against materialist ideology. Therefore, we are now facing crisis. And even Christian church, Christian world, how is the inside of Christian church? There is still the segregation of people. Segregation by race, by color, of course, people. Yeah. And therefore, teaching is one thing and the reality actually is another thing. they speak a lot of God, but in reality, it is not. And not only that, and how about their life, moral life? How is moral life of Christians now? Morality of Christian people. More and more divorces, whatever, extramarriage sexual relationships, adultery, all kinds of things. So this also would evidence that with Christian church, with present day Christianity, we cannot bring moral life, moral society. We cannot bring sound society. This is because Christian church lost its power to persuade people, to make them understand people, make people understand and make people keep the laws of God, teachings of God. So they lost it, its power. So all the Christians, they just have look for their selfish purpose. They indulge in selfish life, self-centered life. This is present-day Christian church situation. What time is it now? Okay, we have a break. Yeah. Now we talked about present-day Christianity, and then not only Christianity, but there are many religions, but many other religions also will have a big power influencing different people for right direction. Right. So we have to find out why all religions became like that. We can give many reasons for those things, but one thing is very clear, that is, religions cannot give a clear understanding about the fundamental problems of faith. In many cases, they cannot give strong confidence that God really exists. God is living God. And also, they do not know what is God's will, what is the situation of God. Many speak about God's will, but they don't know what is God's will. Without knowing God's will, we cannot do God's work. Therefore, to understand the purpose of God, God's will, is very important. So we have to put our direction together with Him, His will. By making our will one with His will, we can do His work. Otherwise, we cannot do it. We cannot know which way we should go. So this is very important one. And even in Christian churches, they speak very often about God's will, but they don't know what it really means. And also, they do not know the situation of God. Many people think God is God of glory. So God is in His throne and He's very happy or contented. They think this way. They do not know God is suffering. God is really working hard. And whenever man suffers, he suffers more. But they don't know this. And many people think that God is Lord and man is like slave. So the relationship between God and man is not parent-child relationship, but in many cases, Lord and slave relationship. With this, we cannot really understand God. And also, they don't know what man is, the essence of man, the structure of man. They don't know this. So in Buddhism, they say, they have very vague idea. And they say, the thing exists but they don't exist. They say this way, and don't exist but exist. So they sometimes they play with words. So they don't really understand the essence of the meaning. So for instance, what is Buddha? We ask Buddha, then they say, they say, man, after if you cultivate yourself, your original nature, then man becomes like Buddha. They call it, 어떻게 anyway, it's like the Buddhahood, like that, Buddhahood. So man can reach that Buddhahood. Then what is that? If you ask them, it says that's the state where something exists but not exists, and that does not exist but exists. Then why? Then what does it mean? For my understanding, it means that they studied in old book that is written in India, the writings, and just they translated it into Chinese and also they were imported to Korea, Japan, and many other countries. And that means that is a state of the spirit man, because spirit man you cannot see it. So it does not exist. In physical world, when you see it from physical world, it does not exist. But in spiritual world, it exists. But it does not exist, but it exists. But it exists, but it does not exist. See? So if your spiritual eyes are open, it exists. But if your spiritual eyes are closed, it does not exist. See? It means that So, because they do not really understand the state of spirit man, therefore they try to explain that state like that. So without understanding spirit man, we cannot understand this. But the word spirit man is first mentioned in divine principle. Some people believe the spirit, but they don't know how it looks or how it works. They don't know about it. Therefore, without knowing this, we cannot really understand the essence of man, the true value of man, and also cannot find how to develop our spirit. We cannot find it. So without solving the spiritual problems, we cannot have true life of faith. If we don't know spirit world, that the spirit world is the world where we have to go, and without knowing this, we cannot really know what to do. And also, when you ask what is the purpose of man's life, they cannot answer it. They cannot give good answer for that question. So without knowing man's purpose of life, we cannot have true faith of life, true life of faith. And also man's value, the same, man's value. If you believe man is slave of God, how can you find the true value of man? Slave. Slave of God. If man is slave of God, man cannot have a true freedom or true, true dignity or anything. So the one thing man made mistake with this. All the religions made mistake with this. They wanted to compare God with fallen man. If you think God from the standard of fallen man, you can never understand it. This is the reason why fallen people could not find the true picture of God. This is the reason why Messiah must come. Because Messiah is the man who is perfected person, perfected man. So from the standpoint of perfected man, he can see God. But from fallen man's point, no. So when you compare man and God from the situation of fallen man, you can never find out true relationship of God and man. So this is the reason why religions could not find out true value of man and true nature of God. This is the reason. And when you ask men to do something, especially to modern people who had education, to just like very simple people, it's easy to tell them what to do. But to educated people, if you tell them to do something, they don't do it. So you have to persuade them why they have to do it. When they understand why they have to do it, then they will do it. But if not, they will not do it. This is this is the present-day people. Therefore, to give them true faith or to give them life of faith, then we have to explain them logically. How? Logics and also some proof, evidence. And then they can understand it. So with the logics and the proof, they can understand it. Then it becomes their knowledge. Then with knowledge, then they can have faith. Then with this faith, they can practice. So we say, when you ask somebody to believe you, then how can he believe me? If he knows me well, according to the amount of his knowledge, he can trust me. If he does not know me, he will not trust me. But if he knows me, maybe 100%, then in good direction, in good way, and if he knows that I am a good man, then he will trust me 100%. But if he knows just 50%, then he can trust me only 50%. So the trust is in proportion to your knowledge. So if we trust, if we really know God 100%, then we can have strong faith. No one can take you away from your faith. But if you know just 10% of God, very small, then easily maybe some people can give contrary words, then just you will be taken away from your way of faith. So to know, this is really important. But to understand. But now, present religions, they are not giving this truth. They are not making people really understand about God and spiritual existence. Therefore, materialists can easily influence them and make them materialists. Because they talk with some scientific things, so if you just do not have a clear understanding, then you are easily taken to them. Okay. And we know mind and body, and mind and body. Mind that represent spiritual world, and body represent material world. And we know mind is subject and body is object, and mind and body must have good relationship. Likewise, the spiritual world and the physical world must have good relationship. But in many cases they believe that spirit world is apart from physical world. Many people think this way. Spirit world is something very far away, but in reality it's not. Spirit world is closely connected with physical world. So now we are living in physical world, but this world is, we are living at the same time in spirit world. So spirit world not far away, it's near, it's completely connected with one. Actually. So this world is also spirit world. Therefore, so without understanding this, if we think spirit world is really far away from physical world, and many religions they teach just happiness in future world, future life, then they will ignore this world. So if you ignore this world and you just ask them to think of only spirit world, it will not work. Therefore, we have to also give the visions and also right direction to have good life in this world. Both must come together. But in many cases, religions emphasize more about future world, the world to come, and not this world. Therefore, those who, and they know that man cannot leave this world. Therefore, if we emphasize too much about spiritual world, then if you cannot lead modern people. And we know that in this world, when we have physical body, we have to make our character perfect and also our spirit perfect. Therefore, actually, this world is more important than spiritual world. Of course, that is our eternal home, but this world is the preparation place for our eternal life. And many religions, they became like in many cases they only think of individual happiness or family happiness or their church. They always think of church, their church. By this they make a selfish life of faith. So they neglect the salvation of world, salvation of idea, salvation of world, or establishment of ideal society, ideal world. Because of this, when materialists they bring out the slogan to build they also say ideal world. Communist world is ideal world, they say that. So many young people are attracted to that. Religion, they don't speak about ideal world or things. So, but communists give that vision. Even their methods is wrong, but they say that we have to liberate all poor people, and we have to make ideal world. Everyone can get as they need, and everyone just work according to their ability, they say that. That is their slogan, to attract people. So there, many young people are attracted. But religion do not give that vision to young people. So these are the reasons why modern religions do not prosper. Now, next one is New Revelation. The new revelation of truth. When you say we have to have new truth, then maybe many people oppose. Because they think they have truth. So how can we have new truth? This is what they think. But as I said before, as we said, this science and religion must work together and in harmony. But as we know, science developed very high, but religion is the same as old days. Science developed very high in recent 100 years, 200 years, 200 years, but religion is the same as before. So already science and religion are in unbalance. Therefore, to have good harmony between science and religion, the religion must be lifted up. Then how can we elevate religion? By bringing in new understanding of God, new understanding of truth, by giving new view, new vision to the people. Without doing this, we cannot bring ideal situation. And as we said, the purpose of religion is to overcome the internal ignorance of man. Therefore, as I listed, those questions must be answered. And it must give answers to restore original man and ideal world. So we say, mind is subject and body is object, and mind controls body. So mind gives directions to body. So by receiving order and directions from mind, body moves, body lives. This is the ideal situation. Likewise, religion is concerned. Religion deals with internal truth, and science is external truth. Therefore, religion must be able to give directions to science, just like a man's mind and body. So mind gives direction to body. Likewise, religion must be able to give view and directions for science. And science must follow it. But present-day religion, they cannot give this. Therefore, for religion to be able to do this, then it must develop truth, higher truth. So what is ICOS doing now? Father is doing ICOS conferences. What is the purpose? We are now trying to give scientists direction, vision, what they should do. This is exactly the mission of religion. So we all, every year, we give a title, absolute value. Actually, scientists, their goal should be to find absolute value. And without finding absolute value, we cannot have true or real truth. So, and now, from the beginning, I think early years, I think it was very difficult for scientists to accept that idea. But now, now they are gradually coming to understand it. And so we want to give vision and directions for scientists, for science to go. So therefore, from this we can understand that new revelation or new interpretation of truth must come to elevate religion to original state and to make it possible to lead science. Okay? This is one reason why new revelation must come. And now, this is one reason. So this is one reason. To elevate religion to original state. This is one reason. And second reason is this. By the progress of salvation providence, as God's providence progresses, man's spirit and intellect develops higher and higher. Therefore, to give developed man faith, then the truth itself must have a higher contents, and the method of giving truth also must be improved. Therefore, in old days, Old Testament age, God gave, so as we will give this time. This is time. As time goes, as God's providence history, God's providence progresses, man's spirit and intellect grows higher and higher. So this is spirit and intellect line. This is line. Spirit and intellect become higher and higher. So God gave here Old Testament age, New Testament age, and Complete Testament age. So here, in old days, this is Old Testament age. Eh? God gave this truth. This is Old Testament. He gave this. And New Testament. So yeah. New truth. This part is new one. Because man's in the Old Testament age, when God gave Old Testament, man's spirit and intellect came up to this level. But after 2,000 years, man's spirit and intellect developed this much. So this is gap. This much was developed. Therefore, to meet this gap, New Testament was given. And now, we are now living at this time. If we compare the present day people and New Testament age people, this time people, this much spirit and intellect developed. So to meet this gap, this much, then new revelation must come. So now new age. And there new revelation must come. So this is a new age. This is the reason why new revelation must come. So for Christianity, there are many questions which are not answered. Therefore, those questions must be solved through new revelation. Number 3 is this. To achieve the ultimate goal of religion, to achieve the ultimate goal of religion, new revelation must come. So religion, the purpose of religion is to develop man's original nature. Man's original nature. Then make violent men. So that is goal. Anyway, the goal of religion is that by developing man's original nature, man must become one with God. So this is by making man one with God. Then we can achieve the purpose of God's providence. And all the religions, advanced religions, they have same goal, to achieve goodness. So their goal is all same, good. So this one. Good, that is ideal world. Ideal world, huh? Ideal world. So all religions, their aim is the same. Goal is goodness. But by the difference of mission field or difference of level or difference of time or area, they can take different form. So they must give truth and also evidence by which intellectual people can believe in God. And we know God is living God. And once God sets his goal, he accomplishes it. He never gives up his goal. Therefore, for God to achieve his idea through religions, then he must give truth to the religions. Because without religions, religion cannot achieve its goal. Therefore, God must work through religion, and God must give truth, a new revelation to religion. So to make religion succeed in its mission, God must give new revelation of truth. And the Bible says that there will be new revelation. So, you know, there are many verses in the Bible. So John 16:12. When the Spirit of truth comes, he'll lead you to everything. So he'll let you know the spirit of truth that comes. And John 16:25, I spoke these things in parables, but when time comes, when time comes, to clearly show the things about Father. So, new revelation about Father. The time will come when new revelation will be given. And Revelation, book of Revelation 10:11, as we said, we have to prophesy to many people, many lands, and many kings. So God told John that he should prophesy again to many people, many lands, and many kings. So new things, not same thing. New things will be revealed. Then what will be the contents of new revelation? There will be contents of revelation. That is that new revelation must give explanation about God, God's heart, God's will, and also it will give contents by which religion can overcome materialistic ideology. Without this, we cannot overcome. If we cannot overcome material ideology, there cannot be a real ideal world. Therefore, new revelation must give the contents by which we can win over materialistic ideology. And it must lead all the religion to one direction. If a religion do not unite, we cannot bring real ideal world. Therefore, it must be able to absorb all other religions. All the religions come together and must put them in one direction to realize God's idea. And it must be able to make all the people brothers and sisters, so brotherhood, and to make one family world. One family world. This is also goal. And it must harmonize religion and science. And it must solve all the fundamental problems of Bible, like fall. It must explain what fall is. And salvation history, salvation providence, resurrection, last days, many things. And especially important thing is the coming of the Lord. This is the really important problem, because without having the Lord, we cannot realize God's idea. Therefore, to know how and when, where the Lord will come, it must give answer to these questions. So, by this we finished introduction. This one is chapter 1 now. Chapter 1, of creation.